So did you celebrate the birth of Santa or Jesus? Do you have an uber Christian New Year's resolution? Did you keep Christ in Christmas enough? Christians, and especially Christian activists for a cause, whether it's climate change or abortions, are expert at judging people. But how good are we at loving them? I think it has to do with pride, a resistance to confession, and ultimately a problem receiving God's grace for ourselves. Let's talk about it. My name is Jonathan. I lead InterVarsity's IBED team, and this is EHA Daily. The most quoted verse in the Bible when I was a kid was John 3:16, especially after Tim Tebow put it under his eyes, right? But the one that skipped over the most is John 3:17, and that is the key for not judging people. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believed in him might not perish but have everlasting life. But then, for God did not send the Son into the world to condemn the world, but that through him the world might be saved. I used to ask questions like, is your Christmas chocolate fair trade? Is your smartphone a fair phone? Did you protest this year? Did you protest enough? See, I'm not trying to minimize the exploitation, abuse, and violence in the chocolate industry or the electronics industry, because you and I both know that companies and the government know they're full of child labor. I'm not saying protesting and policy work against over-policing isn't necessary. What I am saying is that often our lives as Christians become a measure of how we perform Christianity to be seen by other people, that we decide are the most Christian, right? Instead of our actual relationship with Jesus. The reason this is important is not because of passages like Matthew 25, James 1:27, or Isaiah 58, but because of Matthew 7, folks who did things for God, and Luke 13, folks who were around when God was doing things. See, most people, Christian or not, because of how our churches work in our post-colonial context, think we'll get to heaven because of what we do. We do what God tells us, or because we're around people who do what God tells them. We're in because we are performing or because we're at the party. Neither of those are true. What separates the sheep from the goats is their actions. And what separates the disciples from performers or observers is relationship. See, emotionally healthy activists are not observing or participating without relationship with Jesus. So we are counted as sheep because we knew him and responded. And to claim to know him without responding is not to know him at all. Which is why he says, "Depart from me, I never knew you." See, may you love out of relationship, giving only what you have received and knowing God for yourself. God does not condemn you, so we don't condemn others. Need more? Go to patreon.com/IBED and let's talk. See you back here tomorrow, and thank you so much for checking out EHA Daily. My name is Jonathan. I'll see you tomorrow.